Well, we had some crazy racing for Japan last week, and it resulted in a, dominated victory for Skither, holding off Gecko, who had penalties, and one getting it messed up in regards to that. But we move on from Japan, and we move on to the fourth round of RPL Tier 1. We are here in Bahrain for the fourth round of Season 13 Tier 1. RPL Titan Iron on hand for comps tonight, and originally we would have had a full grid, but during the course of the hours today, we've had quite a few backouts as of late. Yeah, we've had quite a few backouts. A couple people out for dinner and not going to be home in time. Others are stuck at karting events and can't seem to make the event. But we have 17 potentially. One unknown on if it'll be happening here. Okay, hang on. Let me get this guy here. We'll have to find Shanghai. Give me 2 seconds. We're gonna get Shanghai here. Because apparently I don't have him. I don't have him added. Apparently. No, I don't think it's this guy. Oh wait, no, it is him. Crap. But anyways, so yeah, last week the results was it was Skither who wound up winning by 1.2 seconds over Gecko. Gecko got bumped to third after he got 13 seconds of penalties on his end, 3 seconds in the game, 10 for speeding. He was dropped to third, and Willow was in second. So the Drivers' Championship, we have a new leader. We're 3 rounds in, 3 leaders now. Gecko has the point lead with 41 points, ahead of Cookie, who's sitting in second with 40, and Willow is sitting in third with 33. The constructors' standings, McLaren continues to extend their lead just slightly. They have 90 points. They have 90 points. Mercedes in second with 82, and Ferrari is sitting in third with 67. But yeah, so we have just two people missing, Shanghai and SV. Apparently SV decided to go out to dinner, and he said he was supposed to be back at around 8. It is 8 and no word from him. So we have no idea if he's coming or not. So yeah. But okay, so he is going to be home in 10 minutes. Quali has started. But yeah, so here's who we got for drivers. So Ferrari, we have I have no clue who this guy is. Power Raditya. No clue who this guy is. This guy's brand spanking new. So, probably someone will be telling. Well, from there. So, yeah. Sorry, just completely distracted by our drivers trying to get people in here. But yeah, so we got Power Raditya, new guy. Never heard of the guy, so we'll find out where he is in regards to that. His teammate is Alex Norris. He is in the other Ferrari. We have Cookie and Cryptic in McLaren. Gecko and GTK. GTK filling in for Willow, who is off for this week and next week. They're in Mercedes. Jordan in the Red Bull. Beatnik on loan, also in the Red Bull. And we have Andrea and F1 Shorts in the Williams. Goatley and TB in Haas. TB, by the way, moved from Ferrari to the Haas. In regards to that, I believe, yes. Shanghai in Blonde another loan. They're in the RB. F1 Union originally was supposed to be Sauber, but had to be pulled because Minico backed out. And Redfire's in the Alpine. So let's go on board with Power Raditya as he goes through turn 4 on the onboard. Now be careful of this curb here, because apparently we have been told that the glitch has occurred in that turn. A bit too much of that curb and you'll go airborne and flying. But anyways, through turn 8, nice and easy down through the throttle, back up through the gears now, up to about 6th, 7th gear, into the heavy braking zone of 9 and 10. Nice and easy momentum through, powers it down again as he flies down the back straight, DRS applied, 8th gear initialized, into the braking zone of turn 11. Now, getting back down into the powers through the sweeping right hand of 12, into 13 now to finish, and getting it set and good, flying his way down the last straight before the main straight, into the last couple of corners now to finish up that timed run. And he will be coming across the line very shortly. So Power Raditya setting up the timed benchmark, and it is a 27.8 for him in that car. Cookie's just starting his lap. Let's see. Looks like Beatnik has just started his. Alex Norris 27.9 on his end. We have Jordan about to finish his lap. Andrea 27.8, 7 milliseconds behind. 28.2 for Jordan in the Red Bull. Shorts is finishing up, going fastest, 27.5 on his end. The reserve driver making his statement known. Redfire's just starting his time lap. Blonde is just getting into turn 13 now. And now to wrap up his time lap very shortly here as he comes out of the last corner. And we'll be wrapping up the time for Blonde here. Comes across 28.6 for his lap there. I'll switch over to Goatley and TB, both Haas drivers. About to finish. And come across the line. Goatley, 26.8 for him, and TB 28.9. Bit of a slow run for him. GTK is just starting his time lap. Cookie is about to finish his, and Cookie will go top of the board with a 27.1 on his part. Beatnik coming across 27.4 for his time. Let's see. Let's switch to Redfire. He's coming into the last couple of corners down. That Redfire, first 2 races in, amassed 13 penalty points on his end. He wasn't in Japan last week. He got banned from Japan. Let's see if he's being able to get himself out of trouble for the time being here. And let's see. And yeah, so Redfire 27.8 on his part. So I just had to fix some things here. Shanghai 29.2, the slowest of the field. And now we have GTK about to finish his time lap. Getting into the last couple of corners to finish up his run. This is the first run of Q1. Now, SV will be here in approximately 5 minutes, so he'll get in with about 7 to go, between 5 to 7 minutes to go, so he'll have time to get his setup in and be able to do pretty much at least one run, and that run will be the one to count. So, JTK 27-8 on his part. So now that leaves just 3 drivers left to get a lap in, that being Gecko, Cryptic, and Union. And speaking of Cryptic, he's just starting his time lap now down the main straight with the DRS applied and staying in the hot lap. Gets about 201 to the speed trap, now into the heavy braking zone to turn 1. Through turn 2, and out through turn 3. Nice and easy momentum there. But yeah, so Fedora's just joining us. We have 17 racing for today for Tier 1. And how this qualifying works is basically, in this sense, the bottom 2, 16th and 17th, will be eliminated from Q1. Then we'll move on into Q number 2, which Q2, the 11th through 15th cars will be eliminated from Q2, and then Q3, the top 10, battle it out for pole again, for pole. So, on board with Cryptic as he goes through the back straight. Gets about 193 into there. A little bit of sliding and oversteer going into that braking zone there, but keeps it composed as he gets into turn 13 now to power his way and finish up that lap of his. We'll switch to Gecko once he is all good and done. He's just getting into 13 now as Cryptic gets into the final corner now. And here we go. And Cryptic goes second fastest, only a 14 thousandths behind Cookie. So McLaren back on it again for 1-2 at this moment. Until that, Gecko 127, 124. That puts him 66 thousandths of a second ahead of Gecko. Well, that just leaves one driver left to get their time in, and that is F1 Union. And SV is home, so let's get him an invite. I am sorry, Union, that we are going to be cutting away from you on your lap so we can get SV in. Invite's been sent. There we go. He's all good. GTK looks like he thinks he's done enough to go through. Yeah, I mean, literally, we have 2 drivers that are going to be knocked out. And let's see what happens there. So yeah, SV inbound. Let him know that there's how much time is left. And here we go. So Union heading into the last couple of corners. And coming across the line to finish up his time run. And it is 10th fastest with a 27.897. That puts him just a smidge behind F1 of Red Fire. Andrea, by the way, just improved his time up to P5 in that Williams. Blond's just starting his time. TB's on a new run, only about 500ths off in sector 2. See if he can try to power through with a better sector 3 here. And there's SV. Good to see you, my friend. And here we go as they come across the line. As he comes across the line, and TB does improve, but he stays P15 at this present time. Let's see. Beatnik's just starting his time lap. Redfire just started his time lap. Let's see. Goldie just started his time lap. Let's take a look. Here we go. Alex Norris. Alex Norris on a new time lap. Only a couple milliseconds off. Oh, well, Willow. I mean, there's only 17 racing, so only 2 are gonna get knocked out. So JTK thinks he's probably he thinks he's safe enough to go through. Anyways, here we go. So Alex Norris goes into the final corner here. And also I think GTK is probably saving some tires for Q2 and onwards. So Alex Norris comes across and he improves just a tiny bit, but stays P11 at this moment. Blonde next to come across the line. He improves up to 13th. Now Power Raditya, 4/10 up in Sector 2. And he goes up to second fastest on his end. And that puts him 600ths behind Gecko on top right now. Okay, TB's on a slow down. Let's see. Beatnik. There we go. Beatnik's just finishing his run. Then comes across. Improves just a tiny bit. And he'll give a tow to Cookie, who's just restarting his run. We'll get to him in just a moment. Who is left to finish their lap? Well, it's not F1 Shorts. He's just going on to there. Alex Norris is on a cooldown. Well, I guess it is gonna be Cookie then. Cookie is up. Whoa, he's way off. He made a mistake. Definitely must have made a mistake because he is just gone. Gone. See you later. Goodbye. Yep. Let's see. So, well, Cookie's lap just fried to hell. Let's go to Red Fire. Otherwise known to some individuals, the Tier 1 terrorist. That's what he is, for causing chaos and craziness in regards to some of the races, depending on who you ask. And, oh, looks like he just backed off from his run. Okay. Oh. We got nobody off on our run, so, let's see, is SV coming out yet? Nope, he's not coming out just yet. Hopefully he does. There's about 4 minutes left. So, yeah, nobody out and about on a time lap at this moment. Gecko has come back out onto the track, though. So he'll be able to finish. So he'll be able to try to improve off of his time. Yeah, so in regards to the racing that we had so far earlier in the week, to earlier today. So AR Biscuit was the winner of Tier 3 on Thursday, and Reese was the winner of Tier 2 yesterday. Those were your winners from earlier this weekend. So yeah, Air Biscuit was the winner in Baku Tier 3 on Thursday, and the winner of Tier 2 yesterday was Reese. And Cookie was looking to improve on that time, but unfortunately he has invalidated. He is back into the pits. I mean, Cookie is third, so he could save that tire and wait for another go for Q2, going into Q2 now. So, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in Q1. Whoa, what in the world was that? Looks like some confusion in the Ferrari Academy camp. As looks like one of the Haas's had to move around a Power Raditya coming out of the pits. I don't know if that was TB or if that was Goat Lead. That want to get you a little confused there. But Gecko going on his lap. Shanghai just started his as well. He's currently in turn 2. So we'll get to him. We'll get to him next, right after Gecko's lap is completed. So that is what we're gonna do there. So yeah, Gecko about to fire off and away on his time heading into Sector 2 to finish things and get himself maybe a little bigger gap going into it. There's a big gangle of cars in the DRS zone. Hopefully Shanghai does not get screwed over by the traffic. There he is in turn 10. He's gonna be meeting some of this traffic head on. Well, this is gonna be wild stuff there. It looks like SV has spun out in turn 3, so we can see on the map as Gecko comes across the line, and he will, oh, just miss it. Just lost it somewhere because he 9,000ths off in sector at the end of the lap, so he got screwed up somewhere, and it cost him a lot of time. Shanghai, the first of the bottom 2, gonna have to do everything in his power to get it done and finish it off here. Here he comes across the line. He improves, but will stay 16th. And with 20 seconds left and he's off the throttle, that's it. He is done there. So SV is also going to be done. So that means we have our qualifying. So our bottom 2 is Shanghai and SV, which means those in the bottom of the pile, Goat Lee, TB, they're all safe. But let's take a look at some of the cars as they go through. Let's see what laps they can wrap up with here. And let's begin. So here we go. Union Cross, 9th fastest. Cookie couldn't make the line in time, so he is done. Gecko is backed off. Let's see, we have the Ferrari. That is Alex Norris right now. He's down in 11th. Seeing a Ferrari down there in 11th is a little shocking. Not gonna lie there. But, oh, he goes way wide. That's gonna suck there. And Cryptic goes fastest. Good stuff for him. Alex Norris improves, but, I mean, he is up to 7th, but he is through to Q2 regardless, despite that mishap with his time. TB, 14th. Goat Lee switches back. Andrea up to 6th. Shorts to 3rd. Wow. Red Fire gets a little evil out of the final corner. He comes across. He stays 9th. But, yeah, that is Q1 in the books with Pyraditya knocking Cryptic off. 27,066 on his part. 25,000's the gap. So the newcomer, Pyraditya, Cryptic, and Gecko are your top 3. And we lose Shanghai and SV. It is short? I thought it was full. I thought it was full because of the 17. So Pyraditya is full. Alright, so the 5 lights come on to start the Bahrain Grand Prix of RPL. And lights out, and away we go. Power Aditya responds really good to Cryptic. Heading into turn 1, cars scrambling to get into position here, almost 3 wide. Little snap over by Red Fire back towards the back there. But Power Aditya takes the lead. And stays ahead of Cryptic. Cryptic trying to fight there. There's a good fight in the back between Beatnik and Andrea. Heading in the sixth place spot. Cars filing into position and more bows in there before the first slide over. And we see some cycling about. We have Jordan off. And we have more slides and everything. Blonde over. And that is Goat Lee going off and breaking the meter boards. More chaos there. Chaos again. SV bumping with Jordan. And Red Fire immediately with a 3-second penalty. We're not even halfway through the lap. We're not even halfway through the lap and this craziness has happened. Cryptic gets past Power Aditya to take the lead. But here we go, as more fighting out and about between, we have Cryptic and, Beatnik and Red Fire. Going into there, filing out, we're back under file out conditions here. Background, Beatnik and Andrea. Andrea goes a little wide. And let's see what we got as Red Fire overtakes TB to get into 11th. Cryptic gets past Raditya to get into 2nd. Cookie looking to try to follow. Little hard reel-to-reel racing between Cookie and Raditya. In that battle for 3rd place. And Cookie takes it and gets himself in a 3rd. So the cars file back into place. It is Cryptic, Gecko, Cookie, Raditya, Shorts, Beatnik, Andrea, Norris, Union, and GTK makes up the top 10. Let's take a look at the tires that everybody has gone with. So Blonde, SV, TB, Red Fire, GTK, and Raditya have gone to the hard compound tire. And everybody else is on the mediums. So 7 on the hards, 10 on the mediums. This is what we got here. So let's go. Let's see who we can go on board with for a couple of corners. Let's go on board with Beatnik, the Tier 2 Mercedes driver on loan to Red Bull Tier 1. He's chasing F1 Shorts for the 5th place spot. And speaking of F1 Shorts, he's right in the tail of Power Aditya, who is just, I think, has fallen out of DRS. Yes, he has. He has fallen out of DRS to Cookie. And now he's vulnerable as Cookie gets past both his teammate and Gecko to take the lead. Power Aditya dealing with Beatnik as F1 Shorts gets past him to take the 4th place spot. And now Gecko on the inside against Cryptic for the 2nd place spot. Cryptic hangs on. Power Aditya loses 5th place to Beatnik. Andrea passed Alex Norris passed F1 Union to get in 8th. And now let's see, DRS games playing into effect. But we have a major train from P1 of Cookie all the way down to P11 of Red Fire. Goat Lee passing Shanghai to get into the 13th place spot. And now Shanghai left high and dry against Jordan down in 14th. Let's take a look at our biggest winners and losers so far for this event. So our biggest gainer, Cookie, 4 spots. And our biggest loser, Power Aditya, 5 spots lost. But now let's see, muttering around in the background, here comes Jordan on the inside up against Goat Lee. for the 13th spot, takes it and heads off there. SV looking brave against Shanghai. Little wheel-to-wheel contact there, but SV gets the spot. Like Beatnik looked about seeing an eye against F1 Shorts for the 4th place spot, but no dice at this present moment. Oh, nice little helmet design on Beatnik's car there. Or Beatnik on him. Very nice. Let's see, here we go. So F1 Shorts is going to be a bit vulnerable to Beatnik here, as Beatnik will have the DRS applied, and F1 Shorts moving out of the way. Beatnik goes up to 4th, and will now have a little bit of ground to make up for to try to catch the top 3, starting with Gecko. Alright, maybe a little further back. Let's go with Alex Norris. Well, Alex Norris started in the 8th position, still sitting in the 8th position, and he has a little bit of work to go for on his part. DRS is now in effect for a bunch of drivers, with the exception of Beatnik up in that top 5. He could be vulnerable to an attack. Is he gonna be? The answer is no. No attacks being seen at this present moment. Even Red Fire, not close enough for GTK in for the 10th place spot. Our closest fight right now is Shanghai, but I digress there. Looks like Alex Norris, brave against Andrea into turn 4, and Andrea's not willing to give an inch, and he gets the position back against Alex Norris. That's some fair cracking fights there. And looks like we have trouble. That is Jordan. Jordan had a problem. Well, he is down all the way in last. Did Jordan get affected by the glitch? Because we had that yellow flag. Maybe Jordan got affected by that glitch. And like I said, if you're wondering again what that glitch is that basically when you exit turn 4, there's some red and white curbs right there. And if you are like positioned just a weird wrong time, yippee, you go flying. That's pretty much what happens. So the top 3 have settled into place here. We have Cookie, Cryptic, and Gecko as your top 3 currently. Looks like Power Aditya is going to be planning to move forward and go up against F1 Shorts to get that 5th place spot, and he will do so. Jordan has spun out in the final corner. Looks like he backed up and is heading into the pits. Man, Jordan is just not having a great day, and he is out in the pits. He is done. Switchback by Andrea and Norris. The fight's still not over. Alex Norris just had the 7th place spot briefly, but Andrea's like, oh hell no, I'll take that back. I mean, this is why we love Tier 1. I mean, despite glitches and crazy shenanigans and everything, we enjoy Tier 1. Tier 1 is so much fun and enjoyable. So the top 3 have basically gone off and doing their own thing. 4 through 6, they had their own little thing going on. And looks like Andrea is out of range against his teammate Shorts to get DRS. And he's got a bit of a train behind him, all the way down to Red Fire in 11th. So let's see what we're looking at in regards to the top. In regards to also what we're going to be looking at in regards to the tire wear as this event goes on. Let's go on board with Alex Norris, as maybe 3rd time's the charm in his battle against Andrea. I mean, he would love to get that position back from Andrea. Let's see what happens. He is eyeballing and looking, but unfortunately, not close enough this time. So, unfortunately, we won't have a 3rd time in a row, 3rd lap in a row kind of ordeal. between the two. Meanwhile, going into turn 4, by the way, Blonde getting past SV for the P14 spot. 2 drivers on loan for the Mercedes Academy. Blonde in Racing Bulls and SV in the Aston Martin. And if you're wondering, well, loans, where did they come from? Well, let's see. As we mentioned it. So, Blonde, like I said, on loan for... like I said, Blonde is on loan. He's a tier 2. He's in tier 2. Same with Beatnik in the Red Bull, tier 2. SV's from tier 3. And other drivers filling in. I mean, we had F1 Union, who's also in tier 2, in there as well. And Shanghai, a tier 2 driver as well. Jordan, I believe, is also in tier 2, from tier 2 as well. So we have a good mixture of tier 2 and tier 1 fighting for top honors in regards to racing positions and everything. And we even have our single tier 3 driver willing to go for some fisticuffs. Speaking of fisticuffs, Paraditya trying to catch up to Beatnik. This is a battle for 4th position. They have a little bit of similar ERS, but Beatnik has the less amount saved up in that battery pack. So Paraditya looking to eyeball for some points here. If he is in here, I believe he is in here. Invade, could you fill me in on power here? Can you fill me in on this individual, please? I would like to know a little bit of info about this guy, because this guy is brand new to me. I just want to get some info if we can, please. Thank you very much. Well, things look like it's going to be a little on the calm side in regards to the racing action here. It looks like Cryptic has fallen out of favor of DRS to his teammate. But Cryptic does not mind. He did say it at the beginning. He does not mind being the second driver and helping things out. And Shorts is in. So this is our first of the medium tire guys. They are in. He is in and off of those mediums. Gecko getting past his teammate Cryptic to take the second place spot. Meanwhile, here we go. The fight again between Alex Norris and Andrea. Back at it again. And once again, Andrea manages to fend them off. I mean, you gotta get fair credit to Alex Norris. He is trying and trying and trying, but that Williams is... I mean, literally, Andrea is basically Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, just going like, "You shall not pass," kind of ordeal. That's what he's doing to Alex Norris here. GTK looking to eyeball a peak against F1 Union, but he will be. He'll have to stay in that 9th place position. Meanwhile, Red Fire, by the way, just sitting comfortably in the 10th place spot. Does have that 3-second penalty, but he is over 3 seconds clear of TB, who's in second. Who's in second? He's in 11th, so I'm very sorry about that. But anyways, Cryptic looking to regain the position and take second place back from Gecko. Meanwhile, Paraditya battling against it. Oh, Jesus, TB. 10-second penalty for him, and Andrea, Union, and TB are in the pits. So the medium tires are getting put away here. And yeah, so that means the top 3, as well as Beatnik and Alex Norris, we should be seeing them within the next lap or so. Which means once these guys go in, that means Paraditya will be leading this race for a few laps. Let's see. I don't know much about him. All I know is that he's really fast in time trials and he's friends with Shorts. Okay. So, a friend of Shorts. That's who we could say. 2 weeks in a row, TB speeding. Yup. Yeah, he did that last week in Japan. Yeah, he sped. That's gotta suck on him. That's gotta suck for him there. Meanwhile, JTK battling with Alex Norris first and gets 6th place. Alex Norris is like, for a second there, he's like, well, finally, I'm done. I'm all good with Andrea. And JTK just comes in and goes like, guess who? That's basically what it's like, but yeah. Anyway, so Beatnik is in now, so that means Power Aditya is off and running in free air. And Alex Norris comes in as well. So that leaves the top 3 yet to pit as Red Fire, bold and ambitious, gets past JTK for the 5th place spot. And TB, to add insult to injury, a track limit penalty on his part. But JTK decides, yeah, you had your little fun. Now let me take it back. And he is in the 5th place, back at 5th. Okay, so Beatnik files out in the 9th place, just ahead of F1 Shorts. Andrea had to settle, currently settling in 11th. F1 Union comes out in 12th, and Alex Norris comes out in 13th on his part. So let's take a look at the leader gap here. So it looks like when Cookie comes in, he will come out right around with Blonde for these to basically have the 7th place position. That's what it's looking like at this present moment. Cryptic when he comes in, he's gonna be just ahead of just behind SV, and same applies with Gecko as well. Well, let's see what's gonna happen here as Cryptic and Gecko are in. Whoa, that was close. Some rear locking on Gecko's part there. Whew, that was close. That would have sucked if Gecko got a penalty. Because he wound up having that last week. He wouldn't want to have that happen again. Love to not have that happen. Anyways, let's go back to Shorts as he's hunting down Beatnik. And Cryptic does come out ahead of SV, and Gecko comes out behind SV. Now SV racing Cryptic. Just be careful. Just be careful going into there. SV trying to fight, but just can't seem to hold his ground. And now Gecko finds a hole and gets by. Gets past SV to get himself in the 8th. 7th, I'm sorry. Whoa, SV evil. SV's gone evil there. Union chasing Andrea. There's Beatnik on the inside, up against SV. Small bit of contact. And SV is just that. I think his rear end's just getting very evil here. But anyways, Cookie is in. Cookie is into the pits. And now Power Aditya has the lead. GTK, Red Fire go by. And yeah, so Cookie will come out in 4th. There he is, as you can see on Blonde's POV here. And all fun in games. So Cookie is down in the 4th place position. And now excuse me. Yeah, so now Power Aditya has the lead with JTK and Red Fire as the top 3 currently. But those top 3 have yet to stop, along with SV and Blonde. So 5 drivers left who have yet to pit. Now, we've only had one DNF. Vade and Will are just having some fun in the Twitch chat. Red fire on the podium. Red flag. Race aborted. They're just having a bit of fun here. It's all good fun. We love to screw around if we need to. Anyway, so moving on. We have Blonde being hunted down by Cryptic and Gecko. Cookie about 6.7 seconds back behind Red Fire. And yeah, so our hard tire runners will probably be seeing them. We'll probably be seeing them between the lap 18 to 20 area. That's when we'll be seeing them. As in the background, SV losing the 10th place spot to Andrea, and F1 Union thinking about it there. Oh, contact! But Union is okay and keeps her going. Meanwhile, Blonde, Cryptic on the inside, gets past Blonde to take the 6th place spot. Those just joining us, we had a short qualifying for F1 as Gecko, very ambitious in the turn 8, gets past Blonde to take the 7th place spot. So yeah, we thought we were going to be in full qualifying, but turns out it was actually short qualifying, so I do want to apologize for that. Didn't realize that they changed it to that, but I digress. Beatnik goes up and gets past Blonde to take the 7th place spot. Union passing SV. Let's see. Looks like Gecko's not close enough for Cryptic. Our closest fight is Alex Norris. Alex Norris is just really not having a great day. I mean, and to be fair, I mean, to some of these guys, wow. Hard strike defensive. Whoa, what the world? SV. I know you're racing. Oh, jeez. I'm not even going to comment on that. What was that? I was going to say, there is some... I was going to say, SV, that is some unique defending, but just make sure it's not too aggressive and too borderline, but then that. Well, I would not be surprised if that winds up seeing the steward's room. But then again, SV is in last place, so I don't think it's gonna be that big of a craziness there, you know. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, forgot that was short qualifying. I guess that's what they changed it before we rated up. Power Aditya did claim pole position. And so far with the race, we've had one retirement, that being Jordan, retired, I believe it was like at the end of lap 2, lap 3, and now SV, his second trip to the penalty box, and now he's up to 6 seconds. Let's go on board with Gecko, with Cookie, as he eyeballs his teammate Red Fire, and Red Fire is heading to the pits. So the Red Fire, the first main of the hard tires, is now in. So now we'll see what Power Aditya and GTK do in response. So it looks like Red Fire will be coming out right behind TB in the 13th place position. Let's go a little further back. We have a battle on hand. It is let's see, it is Blonde eyeballing Red on F1 shorts, but not close enough for a warrant for the attack there. Meanwhile, Red Fire chasing TB down on the inside and gets past. Is there a switchback attack from TB? Not in close proximity for that. So Red Fire does get the 12th place position back. Now, let's see if he can try to get some try to get a couple of positions and get himself into the points. So let's take a look at the gaps here. So Power Aditya pits as Shanghai gets himself into the penalty box in the S's, beginning of sector 2. So yeah, Power Aditya pits. He'll come out between Andrea and Alex Norris, while JTK will be coming out just about in proximity to Red Fire. As Cookie gets past JTK to get the second place spot. So basically Cookie is going to be your net leader as it goes on. Battle for fifth between Beatnik and Gecko. A little further back, and you see in the rear view, Andrea gets past Blonde for the 8th place spot. And Gecko and Beatnik swap positions back. Alright. Anyways. Well, it's been a fairly quiet Bahrain GP here for RPL. This is probably looking to be one of our more tame races on the calendar. I mean, we have a couple of battles, but not much to draw up too much on the interests of things here. We have F1 Union chasing Alex Norris for the 10th spot. Power Aditya is in the pits. That means Cookie will take the lead, and GTK follows suit. Oh, let's see where Power Aditya and and GTK will come out. We're on board with F1 Union, trying to stay within DRS of Alex Norris right now. And there's Power Aditya right now, and he's ahead of Blonde. And Blonde now stuck in a Ferrari sandwich. As GTK comes out behind Red Fire. Whoa! Fierce fight in between Blonde and Alex Norris there. Oh, Alex Norris almost went completely off the track to fight Blonde for that spot. And F1 Union saying, "Hi, how are ya? I'm coming in now." Can I switch off? Can we get out this camera? Thank you. I don't want to be looking at the exhaust port and seeing F1 Union's head. I want to see some good pan action. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that was a fierce fight between Alex Norris and Blonde for the 8th place position. Power Aditya is out in 7th. Now, on fresh mediums, he'll be turned loose to try to chase down the Williams pair of F1 Shorts and Andrea. So Power Aditya, a friend of F1 Shorts, looking to get himself a good bag of points on his debut. And Blonde is coming in, and that will wrap up. That will wrap up everybody that is pitted. F1 Shorts clears Andrea to get into 5th, but Andrea, just like he did with Alex Norris, saying, "I'm not done. I'm not quitting. I'm here to fight." You gotta love a good scrap between teammates. I mean, both Andrea and Shorts are reserves for, well, yeah. Andrea and Shorts are both reserves. Now, in Shorts' case, he is reserved. He is a reserve up until, well, he's filling in the Williams till round 10 because of Florian being out. Because of football practicing and stuff. Yes, I said the European term for soccer, so you know I'm American. I still recognize it as the European name. I still recognize it as that. Now Power Aditya all over the back of Shorts. 2 friends battling it out for the 6th place spot, and Aditya gets the 6th place spot, so he'll have DRS. Same with Shorts. Wonder what we're gonna have happen here. Heading into it. Beatnik, nope, Beatnik's not close enough. See what Power's got as Andrea defends the inside. Contact and bumps between Andrea and Raditya. Raditya gets into the penalty box. He could argue that he was forced into that from Andrea, but wow, good hard racing between the two. And Power Raditya just puts a stamp of exclamation on him, and now has passed Andrea for 5th, and now in 9 laps he has 5.7 seconds to try to catch Beatnik. Yeah, I mean, the Ferrari Academy, they could, if Power Raditya does not get another track limit warning, he can get that removed. You just have to provide race director and all that fun stuff to make sure that is all good. Just have to take a peek at the fastest lap of the event, and it is held by JTK in the Mercedes with a 30.8. Kind of hilarious that JTK, he said that this is his worst track. He hates this track and all that fun stuff. But yet he has the fastest lap. As Shorts is going back into the pits. Looks like a couple of these guys are thinking, well, this is not going to last long. I got to do 2-stop. And yeah, same with TB as well. So TB will be going into the pits to, well, now we get off. He'll get that 10-second penalty off, and we'll be good to go there. And by the way, why don't we just take a look at this individual here, Cookie? At this current moment, he is leading this race. He has 2 wins previously at this circuit. His first ever win was done by Ferrari at the start of Season 8. Then about, I think it was either in Season 9 or Season 10, he won in the Red Bull. So, if Cookie wins it here in this McLaren, 3 different teams, and his 3rd win at this circuit. Go on board with Alex Norris. The war between Andrea and Norris enters its next chapter. We're on board with Alex Norris. Let's see if he has figured out how to outwit and trick Andrea here. And he decides to stamp that mark early and gets ahead into turn 1. So let's see what Andrea responds with as they head to turn 4. Will Andrea go for and get that position back? As the Alpines decide to switch positions, Red Fire goes ahead of F1 Union. And what do you know? Alex Norris has finally gotten past the barrier that is Andrea. I wonder is Alex Norris? Nope. Okay, he's not. So I was gonna say it's like trying your best and deal with the oh jeez, Andrea. He just got all out of shape in the braking zone of turn 9 and 10, and now that's gonna hurt him. A penalty for him, so that is going to hurt. He was looking so great for that 7th place spot, but now he could lose quite a bunch of points here. Well, currently, right now, he will drop to 9th, as he's 2.9 seconds ahead of F1 Union at this moment. Speaking of battles, are we seeing a fight for the podium here between Gecko and Beatnik? Well, Beatnik is not close enough at this present time to warrant for a shot. But I know one who is close enough. JTK looking for a move down the inside against F1 Union. And a good racing between the two. And JTK is up into 9th, and now turned loose to look up against Red Fire for the 8th place spot. Not close enough yet. By another lap or so, you'll see a shot here. SV, by the way, is he looking for a move against Goat Lee here? Ooh, little contact from behind. Little contact from behind between Goat Lee and SV. A fierce cracking battle for the 13th position. But SV not close enough to go for it. Now, is GTK in a better position this time? The answer is no against Red Fire. So no dice there. Go on board with Beatnik. Let's go on board with Gecko. Looking at the rear camera as he's got Beatnik in his sights. Beatnik sees him in his sights. Let's see what happens here, and looks like Beatnik once again not close enough to warrant the attack for the 3rd place spot. I mean, that would be nice for Beatnik to get himself onto the podium. It's been a little while since we saw Beatnik on the Tier 1 podium. Hopefully our stats bookworm can locate Beatnik's last Tier 1 podium. I think he'll be able to provide that for sure. So we have a battle. So currently in the points, we have a 3-way battle for the 8th position. A battle for 3rd at the moment, as Goat Lee bumped over by SV. These two are having a little bit of clowning around, but Goat Lee into the penalty box. Meanwhile, SV down the inside thought of it. Not happening, says Goat Lee. You gave me a penalty. I ain't happy with you. Etienne's tires will hit the cliff soon, I think. Well, I mean, we had a couple of the guys go 10 laps on there. Well, Union goes wide out of 12. I mean, it is possible they could be going off the cliff, but I mean, we've seen some of the medium tire guys come in on lap 9, 10, even a little stretched out a little further. But just depends on how it goes. Now, if it was last game, then yeah, probably Raditya will be in trouble there as GTK passes Red Fire to get into the 8th position. Now gets to chase down Andrea for 7th. Well, he will get it anyways because of Andrea's penalty. Yeah, we'll see what happens as it goes. Thanks for that update there, Willow. Thank you for the update there. Anyway, so it looks like, and speaking of Raditya has caught up to Beatnik now, and probably Beatnik is seeing the flashes of red in his side mirrors, and if you have the virtual rear view mirror, he probably sees him there too, and Beatnik's probably like, hey Gecko, I'd like to speed it up a little bit. This guy's coming. Let's see what Raditya's got into the last corner here. He is on top of Beatnik. Oh, Beatnik is looking at some vulnerability here. Let's see what happens going into turn 1 here. Oh, Raditya thinks wise and decides to wait. But he is all over the back as Red Fire is in. I think Red Fire thinks those tires he was on was not going to last to the end. So that means he'll finish off on the soft tires here. Shorts now takes 10th. So Red Fire, we thought maybe he would get himself at least a point or two. But now that's gone. Goodbye out of there. But we are focusing on this fight for the basically the podium spot as Raditya goes wide and turns 9 and 10. And I believe that, I think, is a warning on his part. Let's go, let me take a look. That Power Raditya there, did he get a warning there? Yes, he did. That's his fourth track limit warning. So, unfortunate. So that means with that fourth warning, that means that 3-second penalty is unfortunately going to stay. Really sorry for Invade there. He would have loved to have the newcomer get himself onto the podium, but now it is all gone right there. Speaking of gone, GTK has lost, Andrea's lost touch to GTK, and Cookie into the penalty box. But he is over 7 seconds clear, so he's not going to be too worried about it. Ooh, hello. Got a little too frisky on the braking there, Power. that wound up costing him a little bit of time. Unfortunately, going to cost him just a little bit of time there. But we'll keep an eye on that battle there. And looks like SV and Goat Lee are eyeing up for another battle again, seeing it on the map. Let's switch to those two. Let's switch to those two goofs. Let's see what they got. Wonder if SV is gonna do a little bit better this time in regards to his fight. Is he looking for the move? He is going down the nope, not down the inside. Not close enough. But he's teasing Goat Lee. That's what he's doing. He's teasing him. That's what's going on. He's teasing him. SV has damage. Yes, he does. Right end plate missing. Alright, we got our note from the bookworm himself. Beatnik's last podium, Season 9 Monza, was the last time Beatnik has appeared on the podium. So, that is basically, that's basically near a it's basically almost a 3.5 season stretch of races for Beatnik there. So, I think Beatnik would love to basically end that little drought, that podium drought for him for Tier 1. But he's got two problems. He's got Gecko ahead of him, as you can see on his onboard. And he's got Power, well, I was going to say he would have Power behind, but with Power getting that fourth warning, that means that Beatnik will be looking at fourth regardless what happens. No podiums outside of McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari at the moment so far this season. Well, that is going to be breaking at this moment because both Ferraris are not in the podium place at this present time. So, we're on the final lap now for Cookie as Goat Lee and SV are at it again with their war. So Beatnik, this is going to be a last-ditch effort for him to get past Gecko. Goes down the inside, and he gets it. Power, trying to figure out where am I going to go against Gecko here. And Beatnik now. Can he hold Gecko heading into turn 4 here? As they head to the inside here. Whee! Contact! Between Gecko and Beatnik. Beatnik falls to the 5th spot. Power takes full advantage and says, I'll jump in with the 3rd. And I think Gecko realized he made a mistake and lets Beatnik back through into 4th. So Beatnik will be gaining the podium. Because of Power's penalty here. Let's see. JTK closing in on Alex Norris at this present time. But, wow. Talk about craziness here. But, let's focus in on this guy. He is going to be for the third time in Bahrain, will be the winner here for the third different team to come across the line. And his second win of the season, Cookie wins in Bahrain, and his third win at the circuit. Cryptic will come across in second, and for the first time since Tier 1 Season 9 Monza, Beatnik on the podium. He gets third over Gecko and Power Aditya. Power Aditya does cross third on track, but drops to fifth. Alex Norris holds up GTK to get himself into seventh. And now the rest of the field. Here comes F1 Union to get eighth. Shorts will take ninth from Andrea, and Andrea will wrap up in the points for him. Red Fire steals fastest lap and will be finishing in 12th just behind Blonde. But wow, what a race that was. So, I mean, literally, I think there's two contenders, honestly, for driver today. I mean, you have Cookie, who had a really good race, gained the spots at starting in fifth, and had a really good dominant run. But then you have Beatnik, who ended, I'm gonna play it safe and say it's probably between a 70 to 75 podium drought for him. And Cookie having the phone out in celebration. So it is a Mercedes Academy 1-2-3, as Beatnik was on loan for the Red Bull. But Cookie is your winner ahead of Cryptic and Beatnik. And the champagne will be flying here for the team. Congrats to Cookie in the McLaren. Congrats to his teammate Cryptic for second. And congrats to Beatnik for ending his podium drought and finishing in third. What a fun time there. And let's see, JTK was given driver of the day by the game. And cleanest driver is Shorts. So there it is. Let's get this feel here for EXO here. There's your grid there. But yeah, so Cookie, Cryptic, Beatnik, Gecko, Power, Norris, GTK, F1 Union, Shorts, and Andrea. That is your top 10 finishers. And yeah, like I said, for me, the driver of the day contenders, it's definitely Cookie and Beatnik for their stellar performances in regards to the race and all that stuff. So, wow. What a race, what a race. Well, that is going to be the end of the stream for today. So, let's take a look at what we got going on for next week. So, next week, for Tier 3, we have round 5 of the season for Tier 3. They will be at Canada, racing around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Tier 2 will be at Spa-Francorchamps for round 5 of their calendar. And then, next week for Tier 1, we will be at Jeddah. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be on comms for that one. I am on vacation, so I'm not going to be there. But I will be back for Imola the following week for round 6. So, from RPL Streams, Ty and I Wolf, signing off. Good night. Have a great one.